are you? Morgan Freeman's son.
Tyler, the Creator.
Yes.
Yeah, bitch, I'm outside. My Ferrari popping on a 40 with a 5. 1 ticket, 2 ticket, 3 ticket, 4 million. Put that little Maybach truck in the garage. Little bunny, hop out. You see me at the pop out. Pandemonium scream.
While most artists spend years crawling their way to relevance, Tyler skyrocketed to fame by being as bold, chaotic, and unfiltered as humanly possible. But there was one problem so massive, so career-threatening, it almost wiped him off the map entirely. That's what we're getting into today, so buckle up. This one's messy. And don't forget to hit subscribe below, because let's be real, you won't find anyone this brutally honest about hip-hop anywhere else. So, it all kicked off in 2007, when Tyler and his band of equally unhinged friends formed Odd Future. This wasn't some feel-good story about kids chasing dreams. No, these were the misfit toys of hip-hop, armed with the middle finger and a mission to bulldoze every rule in sight.
A bunch of fucking teenagers who just do bad shit knowing that we can go to jail and get in trouble for it because we think it's fun. So if you like live in Ladera and any of your shit got fucked up, it wasn't us.
It really wasn't.
No, like dead serious, it wasn't us.
We don't
But there's a possible chance that we might know the people who maybe probably could have possibly did it. But I mean,
Tyler was the ringleader, the loudest, angriest kid in the room, and boy, did he know how to stir the pot. Right out of the gate, Tyler's music wasn't just controversial, it was a live grenade tossed into polite society. His debut mixtape, Bastard, and the follow-up, Goblin, didn't even pretend to play nice. They tackled the kind of subjects that make you want to pause and wonder, did he really just say that? Yes, he did. Rape, murder, cannibalism, you name it, he went there. For Tyler, music wasn't about crafting catchy hooks, it was about taking a sledgehammer to convention. Some people were horrified, clutching their pearls, while others saw a raw, unfiltered genius flipping off the status quo. Either way, people couldn't stop talking about him. And then came Yonkers.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. Threesomes with a fucking triceratops. Reptar.
If you haven't seen it, imagine Tyler eating a cockroach, vomiting, and then hanging himself. Disturbing? Absolutely. Iconic? Somehow, yes. The video went viral, not because it was some polished masterpiece, but because it screamed, "I don't care what you think." The bars were sharp as hell, with Tyler casually taking shots at pop stars like Bruno Mars and Hayley Williams. It was messy, it was raw, and it was impossible to ignore. Overnight, Tyler went from underground rebel to mainstream chaos maker.
Blocka, right? Open the fucking door.
So why'd you...
And let's not forget his Twitter antics, because insulting Selena Gomez, among others, was just part of his daily routine. By the time Goblin dropped in 2011, Tyler had fully embraced his role as hip-hop's resident troublemaker. Tyler reportedly used homophobic slurs over 200 times on that album. Critics were appalled, think pieces were everywhere, and Tyler, he just kept doing his thing, shrugging off the backlash like it was a mild inconvenience. Apologizing wasn't in his vocabulary. Things hit a breaking point when Odd Future got kicked off the lineup for New Zealand's Big Day Out festival. Activists slammed their lyrics for being homophobic, and the organizers caved. And yet, instead of rethinking his approach, he just seemed more determined to be as defiant as ever. Then came the Mountain Dew disaster, a PR nightmare so ridiculous it's almost impressive. In 2013, Tyler directed a series of ads for the brand, starring a goat named Felicia. Yes, a goat. One particular ad featured Felicia in a police lineup with a group of black men, and people lost their minds. Critics labeled it racist, with one professor calling it the most racist commercial in history. Pepsi yanked the campaign, and Tyler found himself once again in the middle of a media storm. And by 2014, his reputation as the guy who couldn't resist stirring the pot was cemented, but he probably didn't expect things to get as chaotic as they did. Let's start with South by Southwest, where Tyler turned the music festival into his personal Hunger Games. Performing at the Scoot Inn, he told fans locked outside to just push through the gates. And push they did. It was mayhem. Thankfully, no one got hurt, but the police were not feeling Tyler's whole crowd controlled by chaos vibe. 2 days later, he got slapped with a charge for inciting a riot.
Run in right now. You do it. Let's go.
And if you've ever seen his mugshot, you know he was probably thinking, well, this is on brand. But Tyler doesn't do things halfway, does he? Fast forward to 2015, and the United Kingdom decided it was done with him. Officially done. On August 26th, they barred him from entering for 3 to 5 years. Why? His lyrics are from Bastard and Goblin. Apparently, tracks like VCR and Blow were enough for the UK. They labeled him a threat to public order, which is a way of saying, we don't trust you not to break something. And while the UK was shutting doors, Australia was throwing tomatoes. Feminist groups, led by Collective Shout, wanted his 2015 tour canceled, calling out lyrics they deemed violent. Songs like Tron Cat and Sarah were Exhibit A. The protests got so heated that Tyler's visa approval got delayed, and instead of waiting it out, he just canceled the whole thing. Hit the subscribe button below, because you don't want to miss what we've got coming up next. Tyler wasn't just controversial, he was radioactive. Bans, boycotts, arrests, it was like he'd collected every possible do not enter sign in the music industry. And then, because apparently this wasn't enough, he dropped the cherry bomb. Tyler wanted to evolve, but Cherry Bomb? It was like a musical blender set on chaos. He threw in punk, jazz, soul, and live orchestration, hit the power button, and hope for the best. Critics were ruthless, calling it messy and impossible to listen to. Even Tyler later admitted, everyone hated it. The numbers weren't kind either. Cherry Bomb sold 51,000 copies in the first week, a steep drop from the 89,000 that Wolf pulled in. And critics weren't subtle about their feelings. It became his lowest rated album on platforms like Album of the Year. Tyler had taken a risk, but it didn't land. Instead of feeling like an evolution, it felt like a misstep. To make things worse, 2015 was also the year that Odd Future officially fell apart. They'd been drifting for a while, but the breakup hit hard. Tyler lost his creative family, and tensions with Earl Sweatshirt didn't help. Earl's thoughts, I don't like shit, I don't go outside, was everything Cherry Bomb wasn't. Focused, praised, and widely loved. The contrast only fueled rumors of a fallout between the two. Tyler let out his frustrations on the track venting about critics, fans, and even friends. It was clear he was at a breaking point. By 2016, Tyler the Creator stood at a crossroads. His career was still reeling from the chaotic reception of Cherry Bomb 2015, the controversies that plagued him, and the lingering perception that he was someone who caused trouble rather than an artist. Something had to change, and Tyler knew it. His next move wasn't just a step forward. He decided to strip away the distractions and noise that had defined his early career. He deleted his Vine account, distanced himself from social media antics, and poured himself entirely into creating his next album. The result was Flower Boy.
Dollar profit from the coffee I poke. Rent a center calling every day. Nobody home, they knocking on the door. Nah, skirts.
Released on July 21st, 2017. This wasn't just another album. It was a departure from everything Tyler had done before. The aggressive and chaotic energy that characterized Goblin and Cherry Bomb was replaced with the sound from R&B, jazz, and soul. Tyler used his music to explore themes he had previously kept buried: loneliness, depression, love, and identity. The shift wasn't subtle, it was transformative. The lyrics in songs like 911/Mr. Lonely laid bare Tyler's struggles with isolation, while See You Again delved into fantasies of love. But the most talked about track was Garden Shed. In it, Tyler delivered a reflection on sexuality, a topic he had often joked about but never addressed so openly. While he never explicitly labeled himself, the lyrics carried a vulnerability and honesty that resonated deeply with listeners. Lines like "Garden Shed for the garçon, the feelings I was guarding," hinted at suppressed emotions and self-discovery. Critics and fans alike embraced Flower Boy with open arms. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 106,000 copies in its first week. Publications that had previously criticized Tyler, such as Pitchfork and The Guardian, praised the album's emotional depth and cohesive production. It was even nominated for Best Rap Album at the 2018 Grammy Awards. More importantly, it marked the beginning of Tyler's redemption arc. Flower Boy wasn't just a commercial success, it was a statement. Tyler was no longer the rebellious provocateur of Yonkers or the polarizing figure of Cherry Bomb. He was an artist with a story to tell, and the world was finally ready to listen. This approach to addressing his past was mirrored in his music. on the 2021 track Manifesto from the album Call Me If You Get Lost.
That ain't your religion, you just following your mammy. She followed your granny, she obeyed master.
Tyler tackled his earlier controversies head on. "I was canceled before cancel was with Twitter fingers," he rapped, acknowledging the backlash he faced long before the term cancel culture became mainstream. But instead of making excuses, Tyler leaned into his growth, emphasizing that he had evolved while staying true to himself. He didn't erase his past, but instead used it as a stepping stone to demonstrate how far he had come. So, what's your take on Tyler? Did he deserve all this, or was it way over the top? Hit the comments with your opinion, and don't forget to subscribe, because there's way more where this came from.